Split one, day one. I'm Taylor. Reflections. We're joined by Colin and Crow Clark, and our third and final series is about to be underway. One that a lot of people, including myself and probably you, Colin, has been really pumped up about. Pioneers versus Nobles. Last time you had a chance to watch these guys play, it was Vanquish versus Fire and Ice. Now it's the same exact rosters with a new home. Colin, I couldn't be more excited for this one.
I can't either. Look, I need to see Noble come out firing on all cylinders. I need them to start hot in this situation because the teams tonight that we haven't seen been playing have really struggled. Pittsburgh Knights, they lose that first series of the night 3-2. Rise, they get taken to a map 5. They pull it out, but still a struggle against the team at Oxygen that was very inconsistent. On the flip side of that coin, the Pioneers, they've been pioneering a whole gang of W's since last Mage. I'll tell you that much.
Man, Pioneers, they got a good one. They really did. Let's talk about this roster. And honestly, do we really need to? Well, I guess so. Precision, Acells, and Hndles. Now, you mentioned, or you might have noticed, I skipped Xysho. Xysho has been so instrumental in this roster. Kyle, let me just say this. Since Xysho joined the roster, these guys have literally been unstoppable and haven't lost a tournament.
Sorry, I'm losing myself in Hndles' eyes. You can talk, Taylor. Just talk.
So dreamy. You see how the way he's looking at you too, Colin?
Look at my God.
You see that?
My word.
See, how can a guy with eyes like that beat you down and trash talk every single execution round? And not even execution, control, and escalation. I don't get it. Look at that. Colin is smitten. Hey, I don't blame you, Colin. Now it's from detox now to Hndles, man.
I'm getting flushed over here.
You're not loyal.
Help me out.
Okay, you going from detox to Hndles. Hey, I'm not judging. I'm just calling out the facts.
I got a lot of love to give. When you this fat and you got a lot of love to give, I can spread that love out, man. You know how it is. I'm a big boy.
You're a big. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't met you, but hopefully,
just take my word on.
Hopefully, one day I have a chance to meet you. But Jesus, Pioneers, I've just been insane. But Noble, let's talk about them. And gotta say, man, you guys should know this roster: Dyslexic, Toti, Xploidz, Fearzly, and these guys are talented. I love this roster. Love the members that's on it. They have truly been carrying the torch for Latin America in the past couple of majors, but they also have been pretty non-existent during the preseason outside of 1E days. Dyslexic, to his credit, he has been competing. He even subbed in for E United guys. You missed that, you missed a treat. But the rest of the Noble roster, they've been MIA just like Rise was.
They've got a lot of talent and they're very skilled. That's the thing that Noble's going to have to rely on to kind of come back for them, is that aggression that this team has always had in their back pocket. They have been so good since this team's inception. These four got together at just overwhelming a lot of teams they come up against. And when the team starts to play back and says, we're going to wait on them, we're going to play back against them, we're going to answer them out, this team has the other side of the coin. They have learned the old adage of defense can win championships. They've gotten to a grand finals a couple of times now. They just haven't been able to get over the hump. And the bad part is the mountain they can't climb. It's the one they standing at the foot of right now. That's the scary thing. As good as this team has been for months on end, this is the matchup they can't get past.
Well, and E United, but that's another talking point from a while ago. But and E United, but either way, it stands in the way.
I didn't even say it.
But I'm just saying. But you know what? Look, Colin, you gotta undo that button. Either way, Colin, I just want to say I talked with Toti, and Toti is serious about carrying the torch and winning the first chip for Latin America. So I do believe firmly in this roster. But let's transfer back to Pioneers because, like I said, I haven't seen much of Noble in the preseason, so I don't know how they're going to be playing tonight. I really don't. But let's talk about Xysho because Xysho truly has been the game changer for Pioneers and obviously was vanquished. And look at his stats. My goodness. First and foremost, damage per respawn. He's literally number 1. He's number 3 in KDA. He's number 7 in damage per execution. Xysho is doing all of this while also being the vocal IGL. Is that not incredible?
It is very reminiscent of some of the other greatest players in the history of this game, a la a franchise, a la an explosive. I mean, just thinking about some of the great IGLs that a lot of you would know about going back to the historical days. He is putting up numbers and performances that are very reminiscent of kind of those greatest of all times. And it's one of the things that also stands out about Xysho that I think people really don't understand is I called him out as becoming one of the legendary snipers in this game. He has a highlight right now that Gears Esports posted of him on Clock Tower where he basically calls and he baits out 2 players to go for a wall bounce. And as soon as they hit the wall, their head Houdinis. Night, forehead. Sorry about you. He hits the first one. He starts to slide a little left. The other player knows he's getting tracked. He goes to bounce into a wall. He holds the shot because he knows the kid's gonna. I say kid. He knows the player is gonna cancel and bounce backwards.
True competitiveness.
He waits for him to cancel and bounce backwards. And as soon as he hits the wall behind him, bye forehead. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, Xysho's played the game that much, and he's played against these guys that often that it's not just in the moment. It's a step ahead. It's the next move they're gonna make that he's starting
playing 4D
to figure out
chess.
how to. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's playing 4D chess. Everybody else is still playing checkers. They're not even on chess at this point. I don't know if it's that extreme, but hey, let's talk about the maps. But I mean, well said. Xysho really is that guy, and you can't dispute the history. Okay, Xysho joins the roster. They haven't lost a tournament. But like I said, let's talk about our maps and see what we're rolling with. Pioneers and Noble, still going to be a good one. And Reactor, I like that we're starting here. We have seen Noble play very well on Reactor, and it benefits their play style. You know, they're in your face, they're aggressive. We have seen them become more well-rounded, but so is Pioneers. You know, they're well-rounded, but they like to get in your face too. Make no mistake, Reactor control, if we see Noble and they are oiled and ready to go, hey, that is going to be an explosive map 1.
This is going to be a very back and forth game, and I love the fact that Noble has picked Execution Checkout as their second map because of the fact that Noble is extraordinarily good at that map. Those 4 guys have really taken it to some of the teams that we thought would be almost unstoppable and unbeatable on that map, like E United. They said, look, we're going to keep Reactor close. If we come away with a dub, we are going to go up 2-0 because of how good we feel about Checkout Execution map 2. This series honestly might not even start until map 3. That's the scary thing to me, is that we might have a 1-1, we might have a 2-0 for Noble, and now Pioneers got to fight all the way back against the Tide, going 3, 4, and 5 in a row. This is just one of those situations where the way this sets up and these 2 teams, we could be here for the long haul, Taylor.
You know what's interesting, though? Pioneers choosing Tomb as map number 5. Now, if you guys have been following Pro League, one of the narratives that has been kind of developed is, at least from my perspective, I speak for myself, was that, you know, Vanquish, now Pioneers, struggled on Tomb. It was never their best game mode for some reason. Yes, they did beat Rise. We talk about Xysho hitting those beautiful shots, winning mid-split playoffs, and that was the start of the domination that Pioneers has, you know, kind of done, you know, basically for the past 3.5 months. But Tomb is still a map that they struggle on. However, maybe they picked it because they've gotten better on it. And a little bit more on that later, because we'll talk about that more if we get to that point. But let's talk about who we're going with, because this one was a tough one for me. You got Pioneers on one end that I'm very fond of, but they've won for 3.5 months. Like, come on. They've won 7 E-Days, mid-split playoffs, Pro League, and the Summer Major. They look absolutely unstoppable.
Say it. However, they're due for a loss. Say it.
However, I believe in Noble. I love this roster. Dyslexic, I've been pumping them up. I believe in Toti, you know, Fearzly, Xploidz. Like, these guys are incredible. And they've also been my swing team when I'm done in predictions. Soap opera over. I've got to go with Pioneers. Like, they haven't lost in 3.5 months, and that includes the past 2 E-Days, where they beat Rebel, they beat E United, they beat Pittsburgh Knights, they beat then Warriors, now Fire and Ice. So they've literally beat all the top teams. Why can't they beat Noble? So Pioneers is my pick.
I mean, there ain't no reason why they can't beat Noble. They've done it before when there's a whole bunch of money on the line for a championship victory on the line with the pressure added up to 20,000. Now they're in the first week of Pro League. They got to start a whole brand new campaign. The slate is wiped clean. They're under a new banner. They no longer are of the blue and white and slate gray. They are under that gold and white, and they've got to represent Pioneers to the best of their ability. That's exactly what I think they're going to do. They're going to start this campaign. They're going to represent this new brand, and they're going to do one thing that they do better than anybody else, and that is create and cause pain and disruption to their opponent.
Jeez. Yeah, you're really hitting that narrative home with pain, not only off camera, but on camera. I respect it, Colin. It's consistent, but hey, they are going to be bringing pain in chat. Do you think they're going to be bringing pain? Do you think Noble is going to take it? Hey, I love Noble. The great organization, great team, but yeah, KCP across the board. And it makes sense, guys. Check it out. Look, Pioneers, like I said, haven't lost 3 months in a row. Just to recap again, MSP, Pro League, Summer Major, and 70 days.
I tried to throw everybody off by wearing my Noble. Sir, did you ever meet Optic in Gears 4?
Okay. No, excuse me.
Did you meet that team?
No. Hold on. Stop. No. I understand. No, Optic. I know. But I'm saying name the last time that's happened recently in Gears 5.
Reciprocity won the first 2 lands back to back.
They did.
They did. But that was like over like a 6 or 7 month stretch.
But then
it wasn't dominant. It wasn't.
But you know what I'm saying? Like then you stack on like E-Days, then you stack on MSP.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got you. I feel you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Look, hold up. Now this is the second time you try to slander me on camera, Colin.
All right, hold on.
The first, hold on. The first time was icy. All right, you try to slander me there after chat was already slandering me. And now, have you never heard of Optic? I've clearly heard of Optic.
You're the one that I said was icy was terrible. I still can't believe you said it.
I didn't say he was terrible. Colin, if you don't stop, I'm gonna jump through my expensive monitor and it's gonna hurt me. I'm coming at your neck. I'm just saying. But either way.
I got it.
Gears 5, who has been more dominant?
UIU didn't lose a single map in a major. Not a single map.
Okay, and respect, and I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying 7 E-Days in MSP and a major and Pro League?
Okay, that's a lot. Okay, it's a lot.
It's more than a lot. It's crazy. It's 3.5 months of not losing. Either way, we just set up the ultimate caster curse for Pioneers. I just want to say that.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. It's Colin's fault. Let's get it started. Pioneers, they do suffer a little bit of a loss off the rip. Fearzly picks up that fresh torque bow, and I gotta say, every single fight Noble has ran into Pioneers, Noble has won.
Yeah, Noble starting off hot, doing exactly what they need to do here. They're going to get these points right back in their favor. They're going to catch back up very quickly. It was only 16 accumulated by the Pioneers here in this first hill. Fearzly will be up top in the middle with the torque bow in hand. Now starting to look for multiple players to try to get a pick on. Precision will rotate across the bottom side of that hill. There's a big shot onto Acells. He's going to get the pick there onto him. And again, still holding on to this position and the early advantage on this hill. Noble will double up the score lead, but it's very early in this one. And you can see already, though, Noble starting to rotate toward that P2.
All right, fresh rotation in. Pioneers definitely wanting this for themselves, but they got to get through a wall of Noble members. And from what I've seen, it's not going to be easy. Noble's hitting their shots. I don't know what they were doing in the off-season, but clearly they've been warming up. They've been scrimming, and they've been practicing. No rust. No ring rust for them at this point, but Acells is hot on the hills, but he's dropped. No team pickup either. Nade's going to be thrown in as well. At this point in time, it's still a scrappy fight, and it looks like Noble might have the added edge here, depending. Hndles will also fall. There it is, another team fight and another win for Noble.
Back-to-back team fight wins for Noble here, and they've been able to hold off the Pioneers in both of their attempts to get back into them. Right now, this will be a very definitive stand for Noble. If they can get another shutdown here on these multiple player pushes from Pioneers, Xploidz hasn't died yet, has 3 kills to his name and 4 assists. He's finally going to get cleaned up. Dyslexic trying to push in to help out. Good double shot there to get the down onto him. They will get 2 kills, 2 more to worry about. Fearzly still alive, goes for the up A, slides in, gets chunked out. Pioneers will take over the hill here, and they get their first real big team fight win under their belt. Xploidz, though, another big back A there, will get that kill. Precision, though, will trade him out.
All right, Hndles across the way, who's opposite of Dyslexic. Dyslexic just sidesteps him, takes him down. Precision moving in, Dyslexic back for revenge, but he's going to get sideswiped himself by Xysho. Nice little bait and switch there. Nades also picked up from player 6 Acells. That's going to be great for the future hills, which nades on this map are critical to have, much more than the torque bow, in my opinion, because you throw those out there, you reposition your opponents, you get penetration on the hill, and then all of a sudden you have it for yourself. But Toti is the guy to watch out for, especially for Xysho and Kona Acells, and Hndles, who's going to be pretty much in the light of sight. Once that smoke dissipates, Toti knows they're on the hill. He should be able to get a connection here and take it down to just one more player inside for Pioneers.
Toti backing up with the torque bow in hand. 3 bolts left and a long time left on this hill. Toti trying to find one player to pick. Shoots 1 round off. Will have 2 bolts left. Quick little reload there onto the torque bow. And the splash damage helped get that kill. So now it's going to be a 2v3 effective in this hill. Let's see what Toti does here as he pushes down. Tries to get into the face of multiple players. And they got 1 more left, and that will be a quick cleanup onto Acells, and Acells trying to crawl toward the hill. Is going to get blocked out by Fearzly, just body blocking him here. Good job there, and a great takeaway by the side of Noble. That is 4 team fights to really 2 in my book at this point in time.
96, 97 and counting. Noble about to break the 100-point mark. Pioneers just on the outskirts looking to go for the break. Hndles is down. Xploidz is hungry, and he's going to get the cleanup, but a little bit too hungry, it seems, as Xysho takes him out of cells. We'll clean up Fearzly. That aggression may be warranted in the moment. Pioneers, though, turns it and makes it obviously their opportunity. 13 seconds for fresh torque bow. You'll see some players kind of start to make their way over there. Hndles might be the one to actually pick it up for himself, depending, but he is going to have some company.
Comes Hndles, shots on to Dyslexic as Dyslexic tries to rotate over to him. They're trying not to get pinched out here, and they get the call out that at least 1 player. Now they know that both are over here. Throwing a shock there, blocking them from coming down those bottom steps. Now the hop comes over, but I love that by Hndles. He realizes that player's going to try to wait for the hop and drop, gets the 1 shot down onto him, and now Dyslexic has to rotate back. See 1 more kill come through for Precision. Precision just holding his own here at this cubby corner. Shots onto Toti. Toti's going to be tagged up, not full red and not down just yet. Still fighting against multiple players. He's keeping a lot of attention to himself, but finally gets taken down. And that is a great little team fight by Pioneers to take over this hill, and they will get the lead back in their favor.
All right, 98 and counting. Like you said, Pioneers back in the lead. It's got to feel good for them. Noble on the outskirts, though. Player 1 trying to float. Xploidz maybe trying to gate that off angle, but he's going against Precision in the 1v. Meanwhile, on the hill itself, things are looking great for Noble. Kill feed lighting up blue. A couple players from Pioneers back on their feet, but not for long before they get finished off. In the last 28 seconds, we'll head over towards Noble, and we'll be focused on the next hill. Dyslexic, though, leading the charge. Almost 11k damage, 10 kills. Something you expect, but the biggest stat line for me is the 8 caps and 5 breaks he has. Dyslexic is putting in work objectively.
See what Precision does here is they've got that down, and we're going to be on board with him pushing across. Toti up top is going to basically have to use his angle up top to keep them at bay. Good down there, but now he realizes he has to rotate down, and he's going to have to get out of there too. He's going to get some help finally from some teammates, and that's exactly what he needed. Now they get the downs and the chunks onto Acells, Xysho, and Hndles, and they will take over this hill and continue to mount their lead.
All right, Noble. Can they hold on to the lead? We'll definitely find out. They've been challenged time in and time out. Pioneers breaking up for the 2-2 split to match that of Noble. Meanwhile, it might be Hndles opposite of that of Dyslexic. We'll see how that one's going to work out in its favor, but either way, a ton of time there. You want to get this break if you possibly can, but Pioneers being pretty apprehensive, and I assume they're waiting for Acells potentially with that torque bow on the top, seeing how that fight is going to pan out, but nobody really making the first move, and once it's made, Xysho ends up falling. Another player will fall, and that's Hndles who take down Dyslexic and Toti. The hill is now in Pioneers' hands, and that's going to force the hand of Pioneers on the opposite end of the map with Precision, who takes down 1. Can't get the second, but it was looking good for a second.
Here comes the rest of the Pioneers crew to mount up into the hill. 20 seconds left. They can really only get close to the lead. They can't actually take it away from them here. So I think they're going to start rotating out, which is exactly what they did. They know that Xtill's that top left side. They're going to trade that torque bow out over to the hands of Hndles, and I like that play. And now let's see what they do here.
Oh, nice shot. Nice connection. Can he get Toti as well? Well, Toti's going to be gone from the nade from Xysho. Nades on this map are fantastic. It's going to give Pioneers an opportunity to kind of isolate Xploidz, take him out. 70 seconds on this hill call, and all they have to get through is Fearzly. And they split up, one on one end, one on the other, and they do so. And I said all they have to get through is Fearzly, but a bit of a refresh is in, but not for long. Dyslexics out of the way. Toti on the outskirts will come in, though. Takes down Hndles. He's looking for more. Backs up, gives him some space, throws out utilities, playing this masked fleet. Can Toti finally capitalize in this moment? He cannot. And now Xploidz is where he's left off at. And at the end of the day, man, 1 by 1, Noble continues to fall off. Pioneers still with their hands full. Noble, I'm impressed by their refresh.
Precision needs to get this down here on a Dyslexic. I love that secondary back A onto Dyslexic, getting that down. They are about 20 points still behind, now 17 or less from the side of Noble, and they see that Noble's actually mounting up here into the middle. They're trying to get this angle onto Toti to get it down on him. Precision put himself in the danger zone, and he could go down and get cleaned up here without any repercussions, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Precision pushes out and gets taken down, and really gives Noble a chance to get back into this hill without any damage done to him whatsoever. This was an easy retake by them.
Easy retake indeed, and that's concerning for Pioneers. You go back and you look, scoreline very close, but Noble's been winning pretty consistently some big team fights, Colin. I don't know the scoreline, I'm sure you have it, but regardless, though, I've got to say I'm impressed. I expected Noble to be a lot more shaky, but they are performing well. And Pioneers, nothing is guaranteed. This might be their first loss in quite some time, but still not over with. 185 to 167. Next hill is going to be up, and Noble once again the first team in the hill.
Fearzly, snub out, a lot of damage there, but this could get it pretty neutralized pretty easily. I love that angle there by, I believe it was Hndles in that cubby corner, just peppering up that player in the cubby. Precision adding in damage from the backside, gets that down onto Fearzly, trying to just add a little bit of damage here as these players from Noble will try to push in. Xploidz, though, is not going to fall. He's going to get a kill there after Acells gets Fearzly, and Precision will be all by himself just outside of the hill yet again, and he might get flanked here.
Might get flanked, but is he going to be ready for it? Oh, Xysho up front, though, not ready for that one. Dyslexic runs right through him. Toti will take down Precision. Hndles is also going to fall, and it looks like another clean team wipe for Noble once again as they extend their lead past 200 and beyond. Pioneers, they've got to have a successful hill. Honestly, the next couple of hills need to be successful. They could be in trouble. So trail 1-0 behind would be a tough one. I knew this map was going to be competitive, but I expected it to be a lot closer. Is Noble going to slow down? I don't foresee them doing so. Pioneers, you got to step it up.
And this is what I really thought coming into this. I said that there was a chance for this series to not even get going until map number 3, with the way that Noble is extraordinarily efficient at Reactor, at checkout. They have a great chance to go up 2-0 and put Pioneers on the back foot in this matchup. And right now, what we see is exactly that. Noble is just putting Pioneers on the back foot, and they're down to 45 seconds to a map 1 victory and to try to go up 1-0. Little miscalculation there. Yeah, second one is picture perfect, and the kill feed just blew from top to bottom.
You said blue from top to bottom, and it's not slowing down. It doesn't look like it's going to be changing colors anytime soon. Pioneers, where you at? You've only garnered like 10 or so points since the last time I called you out, and meanwhile, Noble has just been accelerating even quicker over to 300. Could be the final stand, really the final push from Pioneers. Dyslexic surely drops in this moment. He will. Pioneer slowly closing the gap. Still a lot of work to be done. Nade's thrown out. That's going to push Precision out. One more nade still in it, though. Xploidz last one standing. This should be a clean retake for Pioneer. Well, maybe not as clean as I thought. Xploidz looking to pop. Oh, my lord. Toti moves in, too. And that's going to be 3 out of the way, and Noble retakes it with ease.
And they have enough time left on this hill to get the victory, and they are indeed. There's not enough time to even get across the map.
Wow.
This is going to be map number 1 in the books, Noble. They will wrap it up with that retake from Xploidz and Toti, and they start off hot 1-0 over the Pioneers.
Woo. That is by far the worst loss we have seen given to Pioneers. And it really, up and from preseason till now, that is crazy. Noble played so well across the board, neck and neck when it comes to damage done for the boys on Noble. Dyslexic still leading the charge, 18 kills, 8 assists. Incredible job, really. I'm blown away. I truthfully am. 300 to 180, not what I expected. But here we are, and Noble's looking good. They really are. It seems as if they didn't skip a beat. Have you been watching? Did you notice them scrimming? Did you see their scrims at all? Or they've been doing it all in silence and secret? Because
they might have, but again, this team is just that talented. That's the thing, is all four of these guys, at the end of the day, grind out the game. They've played it for countless hours, and they have the ability to kind of come back together. Their chemistry has been succinct since the time they put this roster together. It's why they were probably, while they weren't the most dominant team, that goes over to Pioneers because of the fact that they didn't lose a tournament for 3 straight months. They were probably the most consistent team. They were always showing up. They always put their best foot forward. They never took anybody lightly. And that, to me, is just continued to be exemplified in this matchup with the way they just played against the Pioneers in map 1.
Ooh, yeah, they played. Speaking of which, team fights. Were you keeping count of that, Colin? I hate to put the pressure on you, but I know you normally do, because I think Noble just won like convincingly more than that of
12 to
Pioneers.
6.
Wow, exactly, 12-6. That is just literally insane. That's crazy to me. So 100% more team fights won over to the side of Noble. You know, you could tell though, you really could, even from the very start, like Noble in that first team fight just really took it to him. And the fact is, that final fight too, where Toti, who was it? It was Toti and I think the Xploidz, Toti and Xploidz, who pushed into that final team fight, and they won it. They took the hill to close out the 300. Like, absolutely incredible job. You know, I expected Reactor to be good for both teams, but Noble really blew me away. Even my expectations of them, they blew me away.
I'm really impressed by how they played, and I want to see if they keep it up there on the checkout, because again, I said that's the thing that I was worried about. You can go back. I can't wait for people to go back and watch the VOD. I said that this could go 2-0 easily for Noble, and then Pioneers have to win 3 straight maps to win this matchup, because I saw this map pool and I said, Noble's great at Reactor and they're great at checkout. Like, I don't even know if they'll be shaky on training grounds. This is a very scary map selection for the side of the Pioneers. And that first map just continues to prove the point that I figured Noble might come out just hot, just come out firing on all cylinders.
Well, they definitely did that. And you know what? It's something that they've done pretty consistently with this roster, right? You go back a couple of phases, they typically do start Pro League, you know, hot and heavy, ready to go, big dominant 3-0 against a dominant team, right? So, you know, for this roster, they're doing exactly what you would expect them to do. Checkout, though, is a map that they play very well on, Colin. Really, really well on. Like, you can highlight Precision, Xysho, and a couple of key players from Pioneers, but make no mistake, one thing that Noble does better than any other team, and by the way, we were seeing it from Dezo on Pittsburgh Knights earlier, Noble's ability to get onto snipe and overload that bottom end of the map is unmatched, in my opinion, from any other roster. They are so aggressive and clean with the way that they get on sniper. It's so hard to shut them down. Even the best of the best on checkout struggle against them. So Noble might have another leg up here.
See what they do here in this situation. Precision tries to hop up onto that mid platform, playing old man Baird here, basically the bald-headed laboratory rat. Baird gets up onto that mid pillar and comes in from the backside and gets a clean sweep on 2 or 3 players. Hndles will be the only player to fall for the side of the Pioneers, and Noble, they will get the first round here on execution.
Oh, here it is. That's what you expect from Pioneers, showing that. See, Hndles died. Hndles said, please do this in remembrance of me, right? Because if Hndles was alive, you know he would have been the first one to initiate that, okay? He's looking into your eyes, Colin. He doesn't want you to forget it. 1-0 lead for Pioneers. Well done.
I like that little rotation out by Precision where he goes up onto that. Excuse me. He goes up on that mid platform and looks back down those mid lanes. It gives him a picture perfect angle on all those players, and it allowed them to clean up a bunch of those kills, including the fact that Acells went down and they were able to get the pushback against them and get those kills. Precision plays that platform again, but gets tagged up heavy. They have to back off. Xploidz will pick up the incense, but go down. They will sacrifice him off to the gods, and it'll be 3v4 on the map officially. Dyslexic rotating in from the backside, gets it down here. It could be a 2v2 very quickly. Precision trying to help out his teammate. Now it's Xysho and Precision versus Dyslexic. Dyslexic, Rody strafing around, bouncing around now, tries to turn back and get a one-shot kill on his Xysho. Not enough. He'll go down, and the Pioneers will win back-to-back rounds here in map 2.
Incredible job, Pioneers. Like you said, back-to-back rounds, 2-0. First round, 45. Second round, 32. It's getting better. Fearzly, Toti, Xploidz, all on a goose egg. And something uncharacteristic you don't expect. Checkout will be where the overtime hill is going to be. If we get to that point, these rounds have been so quick, we haven't even cut it close. So let's find out. Will Noble have an answer? That platform fight definitely giving them some troubles. Xploidz, I know he's talented with it, but he's going to go ahead and cut in line. Precision looked like he wanted to go for the pickup, but he's going to get pressured back. So might have a bit of a standoff here for the first time. Things might slow down a little bit.
And we do slow down, but not to a dead still just yet. Here comes everybody with the full stop. Xysho will hop over the cover and get his health back. That might have been a little bit of an opening for them to press. Dyslexic actually tries his hand against the press, but he goes down in a quick cleanup, and Hndles doesn't slow up. He's not going to stop and pick up the frags. He's actually going to just stay here and try to Lancer out Toti. And now you see Precision going down. The answers coming back and forth, left and right. Everybody trying to find a kill somewhere on the map, but again, it's Pioneers with a straight, clean sweep of kills, and they go up 3-0.
Pioneers, they are clearly angry, man. They're coming out with an example. This would be a big victory. You know, again, I highlight Noble and how good they are on that lower portion fight, right? The bottom of checkout for the sniper, but they haven't had any presence. You know, they haven't really been there. It's been all Pioneers controlling the pacing, controlling what takes place on the battlefield. We once again see the final moments of this fight, and, you know, Xploidz Fearzly nowhere to go. Toti tries to go up for revenge. Not going to have it. They played right into Pioneers' hands. They take them down. Overtime hill, now in electronics. But either way, Noble, something's got to change.
And right now, it looks like the change from Noble is going to be sending all 4 players up to the top side where the long shot is. They are lancering out Precision pretty heavy. He goes full red, but the down on Xploidz comes through. Xploidz trying to find a shot across the middle. Won't find one, but Precision will find a kill on Dyslexic. And now multiple downs come through, and once again, whatever Noble decided to change, it did not work. And this will be a 4-0 lead for the Pioneers on checkout.
Woo. I'll be honest with you, now I'm really worried about Noble. Not because they're down 4-0, but because they've showed us 2 distinct looks. And that last look they just gave us in this round, round number 4, was the look that throws a lot of teams off and teams historically struggle to battle against. And it just didn't work. I mean, you got, again, 3 players still dropping a goose. And we're looking at 3 players that might not be 007 because there's an assist over there for Fearzly, but we're going to be pretty close. This would be a deflating loss, in my opinion, for the boys of Noble.
I think they can't even look at it like this. It's down 4-0. If you get 6-0 sweeped, you go into a commercial break and you're coming back with Escalation. It's just how life is. You just got to worry about what's coming next. Noble will go with a full 3-man push across the backside where the long shot is, but nobody gets a kill, and it's another 4-person sweep.
Jeez. I mean...
He's mind blown. Precision's mind blown by this.
Yeah, I am too. Wow. Wow. I mean, like, what is gears? You win a dominant
unison 4-person kick. Hold up.
Look, does it surprise you?
Voice to God.
Does it surprise you? Colin, these guys are on. You don't become the best without all being on synchronized swimmers all on the same page. Man, and Precision didn't even hit him. I want to point that out, but either way, it was still on point. It was still on point.
Man, I give that a 10. That's a perfect 10 in my book, boy. Good God Almighty.
Oh, Precision hasn't died. Excuse me for not even pointing that out. I haven't even pointed out from Pioneers who hasn't died, but here we go. Another round underway and another opportunity for Noble to turn things back in their favor. I don't know, though. Oh, no. Dyslexic is down. Precision looking to bait and switch. He's now rope-a-dope. He's around the corner. That's going to be another player down. Hndles did drop off. Precision's out of the way. Noble does have the man advantage. It's a 2v2. They're closing the gap. The Acells last alive, and Noble finally puts a point on the board.
The fact that he lived as long as he could.
Precision?
Like, that was almost comedy. Like, being able to okie doke and just stay alive that long was unbelievable.
Hostile spotted.
All right. not much to say other than can Noble come back? That's the big thing at this point. So Hndles, actually Pioneers is doing. So this strategy's worked quite a bit. They don't challenge platform. They kind of let Noble push into them, and then they give them enough space to take them down. That's exactly what they're doing in the moment. It is a 2v2. I think that a 2v1.
There it is.
Or Toti. There
Yikes.
it is. It's going to be done. And like I said, Pioneers has done that so many rounds. Like you can see what they do. They don't go to platform. They allow Noble to aggressively push because they know Noble's going to push into them at that point. When Pioneers doesn't go platform, they don't challenge ensigns. Noble's like, they're backing down. You know, they're taking their time. Let's go. Let's push into them. Let's get, because they've done that so many times and it's worked. But Pioneers is ready for it. They give them enough rope and then they just take them down. So well done to, I mean, come on, well done. 6-1 victory from 1L to a W. It looks as if we might have a close series here, but I gotta say that was a very quick execution, a lot quicker than I was thinking. Xysho only dying once, but going 7 and 10, 7k damage. You can't argue with success. He is just quite simply that guy. Look, we're going to take a quick break, but we have Training Grounds Escalation coming up next. Map number 3. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Pro League Split 1, Day 1, another competitive series. Guys, in the first 2 series, we've seen a map 5. Will this one go the distance to a map 5? Well, it possibly could. We've seen a great showing from Noble on Control. We've also seen a fantastic showing from Pioneers on Execution. That means we're tied up 1-1, Colin.
Definitely are tied up 1-1. We're about to go into Training Grounds, map 3 Escalation. I love that in unison kick. That's just so, it's just so pretty, man. Like, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, the voice of God just made my whole month. Like, I could have been like, I could have had the worst situation possible, but having that 4-player perfect precision kick in the highlight package just makes it okay. It just makes it okay.
It's perfect. It really, and again, it represents Pioneers fully, brother. Like they're all on the same page. You know, they wouldn't be the best if they weren't all on the same page. But talk about fighting back. Like, my Lord, to go from a 300 to 180, very dominant win for Noble, winning 12 team fights to the 6 of Pioneers, to a 6-1 absolute massacre on checkout execution. Mind you, Noble only picking up eliminations in that one round they went, which just blows my mind. But Training Grounds Escalation is an interesting one. So I feel like we've been seeing a ton of Vaskar in the offseason, Colin. But tonight, we have seen Vaskar, to the credit, that was in the Pittsburgh Knights and Elevate matchup, but we've seen Harbor, and now we're seeing Training Grounds. So a lot more variety in Pro League than off-season. I expected to see a lot more Vaskar, to be honest with you, as we saw in preseason, but not the case. Not the case at all.
Yeah, you gotta add a little variety to your life, and variety is the spice of life. And you really need to make sure that you keep your eyes on the prize. And if you miss any matches, you should probably keep your eyes on youtube.com/UMG Gears so that you can go and see the home of Gears Esports content over there on YouTube.
Hey, you love the shout out, you really do. And check it out, guys. Those VODs, they're critical. Hey, those VODs are critical. They really are. Look at Fearzly getting aggressive on the Hndles with the overextension. Meanwhile, we do have the fight onto Overlook. Hndles says, you're not going to push me off, man. I'm coming back for you. And he also had the help from Overlook, and that's because Noble didn't challenge Overlook up top. They decided to stay down low. And at that point, Pioneers saw an opportunity and they took it. But it looks like that's 3 down. Xploidz last alive. Short round question mark. It might just be. Xploidz is gone. And here it is. Player 2 needs to get a touch.
They have to fly in off of the spawn, and Xysho's backing up here. Almost took a big shot from Dyslexic there, but they clean him up anyway. Toti will go down, and they finish off the triple cap domination.
Triple cap domination. Very dominating way. I love that cross. Again, you know, Hndles pressured by Fearzly, and then Hndles calls it out. Hey, guys, I need help. Give me some Lancer fire. And could handle his business, you know, on range? Yeah, I think he could, but there's no reason to turn away a helping hand. Now, something Noble likes to do on this map is place a sniper in hell, right? Just on the outside of Overlook. And it typically works out for them. Granted, they do it around round 2, round 3, most likely round 3, but that's kind of Noble's ace in the hole that I assume we are going to see. So, you know, as good as that first round was, I do hope Pioneers is ready for that.
Let's see what they do here in round number 2. Precision will be the first player off a spawn, and he'll go back over to that bottom U fight because I believe he's going to go for the right-hand advantage. No, he's going to go up top. I like this. He's actually going to try to challenge this top side of the overlook. Flashes back and forth across the top side. Big back A will get the first player. He rotates back into Acells, and the extra flash will win them the fight. I love that out of Noble. They save their utility to throw an extra flash to stop them from getting a revive, and now 3 down and dead on the side of the Pioneers. And you see Fearzly standing inside of the B hill. He's got to stop Hndles from just getting a decap. Triple cap domination being counted up just a little bit, just a hair. Precision will go down to the Boltok, and Noble will finish him off. Toti there with a headshot from the Boltok, and this should be a back and forth round.
Beautiful job. Incredible job from Noble. I mean, seriously, almost better than even that first round from Pioneers, showing them how it's done. A domination in both rounds, respectively, for both rosters of Noble and Pioneers. And like you said, that utility usage was fantastic. And Dyslexic, of course, tearing it up on Overlook, doing his part, doing his job. He's going to be that star player you expect to pop off in that Overlook fight. Looks like Toti is thinking about it. I'm telling you, they love that sniper in hell. It's coming eventually, but the retro, that's what we'll settle with. Maybe go for the shock or the ensigns, which, speaking of ensigns, we've been seeing a ton of ensigns where the shocks used to be as of recently, especially for our Latin American teams.
Retro's out, and I think both of these teams are going to stay pretty neutral on their weapon placements unless they were to get dominated a couple of rounds in a row, excuse me. And what I see going on right now is both teams kind of just taking their time, trying to find the opening that they found the last round. And it looks like Noble's actually throwing a wrench in the game plan. They're going to send Toti across the bottom of the map. He's going to get tagged up just a little bit. A little red here. Hndles can see him, but he finds a crease. He found the only spot he couldn't get shot for a hot minute, but Fearzly on the flank. It's a kill there on the Hndles, and it could open it up.
It definitely could. Toti's down, but so is Hndles. The cells will also fall. Dyslexic taking him down. Xysho's pinned up. He can't go anywhere, so the neutral should go to player 2 of Fearzly, depending. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and lock that in. Hndles will be pursuing him, but he's going to be a little bit too late. Xysho now being pressured. He's got to try and break out, but Dyslexic has him dead to rights, and there it is. He's going to fall. Hndles, to his credit, wins the fight on B, but now he's down. This could be another quick round, depending. 6 and 5, though. They seem to be doing all right on the other end, and they will successfully push Xploidz back. And quite honestly, Noble's okay with that, Colin, because now they can reset. They got the retro to pepper the players of Pioneers up as they go to pursue on Overlook. So at this point, Noble's in a driver's seat.
Xploidz, he's got that retro, and he's going to be able to stop anybody from coming across that mid-U fight. And this is a 50-point differential right now, and I really think that Noble can kind of sit back on their laurels here. They can really rest back and force the side of Pioneers into them. And they've got 2 retros, as a matter of fact. Fearzly has one as well.
Oh, that's crazy.
That home-to-home stretch is going to be almost impossible to overtake. And Dyslexic with a kill there will make it almost impossible for anybody to get on the B hill. This should be a 2-to-1 round count in favor of Noble, because even after any kills come through, even if they don't push across, they should be able to sit back and get another kill. And get another set of kills, excuse me, or a 250-point accumulation.
And it's fair to say Pioneers has one more attempt. And I say one more because I think they are going to take their time here, fill it out, and see where they want to kind of put their eggs at. But at this point, they are split up 2-2, so I think the decision's made for Pioneers, right? They want to take B and they want to take A. The domination is kind of, you know, really their only hand that they can play at this point. I like they take Dyslexic, though. Getting them out of God spot is going to be beneficial for B. Now these players, 7 and 8, Xysho and Hndles, can rotate up to assist Precision and Acells and pincer in the players on Noble. But again, they have to be successful here.
See what they do with what's left. They've got to go for a full over rotation and a full retake here, and they're getting all the kills right now. But Toti with a breakthrough, and this is the classic Rushies play. This to me is just it reeks of classic Rushies, all the way back from Ghost Gaming back in Gears 4, when he would have to go for those breakthroughs to help them secure a chip. That's all they needed, was him to get across the map to continue to buy time for his teammates. Because look, now he's all by himself on the home hill. He's won another 1v1. Somebody else has gotten over to A. There's nothing the Pioneers can do.
Yeah, Toti winning that fight. What you said, Rushy's play, well said. But more importantly, Toti still had to win the 1v to keep that pressure up, and he did. He won the 1v. Great job from Toti. Just a class act, a class player, and he did exactly what he needed to do to keep Noble in it. Great job from them. That's 2-1. And you even called it early and well said, even though we see Pioneers, flashing and coming back into the fight, ultimately it wasn't enough. Noble had control for the majority, if not pretty much 99% of that round. So great job to them. Really great job. And we will see the shocks and say it ain't. So Pioneers will place the snipe. I was not expecting this, to be honest. Oh, they place the M-bar. So fair enough. I mentioned Noble is a team that likes to do this. So even though Noble doesn't place it, they're happy because now they've got a shock, and to their credit, they get a placement where they like it to be. So this is kind of looking great for Noble.
You can't go back for the shock and still get a chance to fight over that initial M-bar unless you're going to play defensively, unless you're going to play for the stalemate there.
Yeah, but even so, shock or not, like I said, they like fighting for a sniper down in hell.
The shock wasn't the big deal in that situation.
Absolutely.
The M-bar being placed down gives them a fight that they want. They're going to win that fight a bunch, and Toti is going to continue to be the tip of the spear here for them as they get a couple of downs here. They're pressuring up onto the home hill of the Pioneers. 2 players are off of spawn. Xploidz with the M-bar will get one big shot there onto Xysho and almost gets the second to connect and gets the kill onto him. Flashes here onto Precision, and he's going to bounce around as best he can, but he's going to go down. And there's the more shots in, more players coming off of respawn. They can't find any kills here. This should be another Noble round. This should go to 3-1 before it's all said and done.
It is officially going to go 3-1. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't get that play from Pioneers, to be honest with you. The rounds weren't that one-sided. We did see a couple of fantastic rounds, obviously speaking about round 3 for Noble, but the M-bar placement down low, I don't remember or recall how many times Pioneers has done that as a roster, but again, Noble loves that spot. They love that placement. They really do. So I think that's a misplay. I think that's a misplay personally.
Well, you can say that, but now they're gonna get their own little shock here. They're not gonna get it off of the restart like we talked about. They have to come up with a mid-game adjustment. They're down 3-1 here to Noble on training grounds, and Noble is a good training grounds team. We've seen them win this map time and time again. It seems like Pioneers have kind of given Noble 2 maps that they really excel at, really enjoy. Flash in on Xysho. He's gonna put his hand in front of his eyes, but nobody down just yet. Nobody getting challenged up. Xysho will make it out with the M-bar right now. This is going to be interesting simply because Precision dying there at the top of the overlook. It's going to open up the ability for them to go inside of the E-hill. Fearzly gets caught out, though, by Hndles, and that kill will open up the home-to-home stretch if they were to go for it. Big shot by Xysho gets the kill there, and that might open things up even further, as it looks like the Pioneers are going to start trying to rotate their respawns into this E-fight.
Xysho still charging up. Xploidz, tons of pressure onto him. He's going to drop off. That's a clean retake for the neutral. And Xysho isn't going to pump the brakes. He's going to continue to push up. He's got the M-bar, fiercely respecting it and backing up so he can potentially defend against D, because in his, in his line of sight, he's looking at Pioneers, a wall of Pioneers players pushing him, and he's like, I got to defend our home hill. But Pioneers will pump the brakes. Not a bad play. Noble's going to take this opportunity to go for an overextension, but now your tip of the spear Dyslexic is already down. Fearzly can't afford to go back, and neither can Toti. All of these players are getting caught out, and they should all die in a Congo line. Precision will be finished off. Acells now has to carry the torch. Will he be able to do so? It's a sloppy fight, but either way, he does take it, and there's another Noble member. Okay, I thought there was another Noble member coming out, but either way, good hold from Pioneers, great retake, and Noble really struggling to gain a foothold here in round number 5.
Another big shot there from Xysho with the M-bar, getting another kill, padding the stats a little bit. They need to come away with a good stand here and get this round. They need to make it 3-2. It's the first round of the second half. Try to make it 3-2. Try to have a comeback round here. 2 players already mounted up at the bottom. Toti, I like the little stutter step, forces the miss out of Xysho. Now 3 players will push into this situation. Xysho's actually going to rotate back here, pulls the snub. Good downs coming out. Good Lancer fire as well. But Xysho, knowing they don't get any cleanups, are going to have to just basically rotate out here. Big body shots again. He needs a little bit of help here. Toti, a bunch of bounces, but nothing to show for it. All 3 players cleaned up and taken down. And this should be a Pioneer round.
It definitely should be, unless something magical happens on the side of Noble, but you can tell they're not even extending out. They're not even pushing out. Pioneers, they're going to take this round in good fashion. Very well done from them. They held on to control from the very start. Xysho getting that embark, connecting on to several heads, one and even bodies. Like, great job from him. And hey, that's 3-2. They win the swing round successfully, 1 round away from tying it up. And also, too, to take note, that was the first round of the second half. So maybe Pioneers, they've got a leg up here.
Let's see what they do in this situation, because Pioneers, they get the secondary placement on this round. They're gonna have to deal with another retro. I'm curious to see. We've seen a couple of rounds in a row the over rotation from home to home to try to take out. I believe it is Hndles playing that home to home stretch. I wonder if they're going to do it again, or if they're going to, the fact that they have a retro on that side cause them to play a little bit more defensively just in case. They do have right hand here, and I love that down, but Xysho, I don't love that team kill. Not exactly sure about that one, buddy.
It was so well played until that happened, but Xysho surely gets away, and he does get away in the moment, but he's going to have some company. Noble has overextended through Overlook. Xysho, though, on the hunt, wanting to get revenge if he possibly can. Embar out. It's fresh, too, so he's got all the shots in the world to deal with. Toti, though, keeping that pressure up, but he's about to have some company soon. Pioneers a stack 3 strong. Toti sees this, and he's backing up, heading for the hills, but it's not enough. And he eventually will lose his life. In the meantime, Shock is thrown just to keep Pioneers off of E, but it's going to be short-lived. That's 2 down for Noble, and Pioneers have control of Overlook, and Xysho with the Embar is a scary sight.
They need to do a little bit of information gathering here. This is one of those situations in Escalation where it will slow down, and you've got to figure out where the rest of Noble is rotating. You cannot lose a sight line. You can't lose sight of a player, because what you're opening up is, I believe it's the player in the middle. It's Fearzly that you really have to make sure you take note of. He's going to go on a flank here. And if he's not called out, which he isn't right now, he is now finally been called out and marked up. They need to be able to find him, but good shot on the mark. Good second shot there.
Wow,
that'll shut down 2 players from Noble. One more takes a body shot, and Dyslexic cleaned up. 3 out of the 4 of the kills attributed to Xysho and the Embar. Now on the home hill of Noble. Acells going for a triple cap domination possibility. 1 kill comes through. Nothing getting challenged up just yet. A second kill comes through. Good God almighty. Back to back from Pioneers. Tie it up. It's now a best of 3. First team to win 2 will win map 3.
And I'll be the first to admit when I'm wrong, guys. I thought it was a big misplay placing the Embar down low, and it looked like it was once we see Noble take the 3-1 lead. But to their credit, and speaking in regards to Pioneers' credit, they've done a wonderful job baiting out those aggressive players, because Noble, what they do is they're so effective at getting 2 players or 1 inside of Hell, picking up the Embar, and then dipping out with the team pickup. But Pioneers has done a great job at baiting out that aggression, picking up some easy eliminations, and then getting the Embar for themselves. And Xysho has been a key factor for that. So, you know, hats off to Pioneers. They placed the Embar. I think it's a mistake, but it's paid dividends for them. And now they're tied up 3-3. So great job.
Decision up top. Good shots on the Dyslexic has kind of settled that push down, that retake down. He's going to throw a flash over there, hoping he was going to connect with somebody, but without that connection, not going to matter one bit. He doesn't get flashed either on the comeback. Xysho's killed Toti, and Dyslexic has been cleaned up now. Xploidz will be in a 1v3 situation. The longer he's alive, the harder it'll be for Pioneers to possibly get onto this last player. It is going to be Fearzly trying to push up here on the Hndles. Hndles will catch him slipping, though, with a beautiful little wrap shot, a little up A there. See what they can do on this next set of fights. The mini-map just blocking out the vision of how far he missed Toti there, if he made any contact.
I'm sure he'll make contact on the 4th one. There it is. He at least gets the body on the Xploidz. Dyslexic trying to make some moves, but he's been dropped. He's in no man's land. I don't foresee him getting picked up, so it's going to be 1 down for the side of Noble. And in fact, he is going to be finished off with the Lancer of Acells. Toti has the Ensign, and Toti is, in fact, going to be on the opposite side, home hill to home hill. So I wonder if he goes for the long throw. No, he's going to help on the Overlook fight. And whoa, talk about a connection onto Acells. Just what Noble needed, but look at the counter shock. Well placed.
So this now is going to be Pioneers trying to be stout at this E hill. They're going to come off of the F hill. They're going to open that up for that player to get onto it. So it's going to be up to Acells to possibly take a 1v1 and stop him. Big body shots out. Third shot comes through. They have gotten up to the overlook, though. They've lost one player. Xysho will move to the top of the overlook. He's going to get shot up by Fearzly. He's going to be a little red. Not a lot, though. He's going to pull Snub. He's going to have a teammate with him, but baits him into the up A. Noble will have one kill, though, at the bottom. That'll be Toti. But now he gets cleaned up. Xploidz now tries his hand, but he gets picked off by Hndles. Oh, my God. Pioneer's teamwork is on a different level at this point.
And I think Hndles takes a pause there and gives Noble the finger gun. Like, this guy is just, I'm telling you, he's off the chain. Dyslexic knows over. He's going to go ahead and flex. But he's flexing when Pioneers take a 4-3 lead and they're at map points. So they have fought back. And we'll see the box score very shortly. But you can see Pioneers have been unstoppable 3 rounds in a row to match that of Noble, who took rounds 2, 3, and 4. And just masterfully done. And by the way, the use of shock has been just so well placed. Again, great connection from Toti across the map onto Overlook. He connects onto Acells with the Ensign. At this point, Noble wants to push full send with their members into the neutral hill fight. But the shock is placed. It stops Noble from pushing in and allows for for Pioneers to reset back up defensively. And again, that shock makes all the difference in the world, or else Noble's full sending. Now we've got an M-bar, we've got a long shot, and it looks like Noble is full send 3 strong to E. They want this sniper.
Yeah, they're going to go full headlong at the long shot, whereas the Pioneers are going to send at least 2 players toward the middle of the map to try to take that M-bar and get it out safely. Nobody has gotten inside of E to check that long shot just yet. Now Xploidz will pick it up, and this is exactly what Noble wants, in my opinion. The fact that they get the long shot in a guy like Xploidz' hand is a dangerous thing to deal with. He's going to have any shots on. He has a chance to basically take anybody out. Middle of the map, it looks like they have a call out onto Toti. Toti is going to be tagged up just a little bit, but this is going to be an interesting fight. Toti tries to hold his right hand. He's going to get one big body shot there, but he's going to go down. Just continuing to bounce around these last few players from the Pioneers. One big kill there from Xysho. Gets the revive as well. I thought they finished him off. No way, no how did they leave him alive, but Xploidz.
Whoa! What? Do it to him now. You got to do it. Put on a show. You've already done it. Xploidz. Where is this coming out from, brother? Well, I've already seen you do it in the past. You'll drop there, but fair enough, man. Those snipes were just disgusting.
Another triple cap domination being threatened by the Pioneers, and Sydney's out, Shock's out, and that's it. Pioneers win 4 rounds in a row off of teamwork that hit a different level. They went and ascended to a whole different plane of existence for those final 4 rounds and put Noble on notice. That was a dominant performance late in that game. And it's on the back of, I can't even explain how impressive it is to watch a team pick a target, wipe it out. Pick a target, assassinate him. Pick a target, blow his brains out. Pick a target, beat him up. Pick a target, 2v. Like, it was just watching them go, all right, he dead next. Okay, let's get to the next hill. Okay, now he dead. Okay, let's go to the next hill. Okay, he dead next. That is what they did. That's literally how they just won 4 rounds in a row. And even when they had a 1v1 on the home hill where Acells had to win back-to-back 1v1s with 2 players coming up different sides of the stairwell, Xysho was looking with the M-bar. So even if you get the kill on Acells, you can't sit in the hill to get a decap because you're just going to get chunked by the M-bar.
I mean, really, Pioneers, they've stepped it up, have they not? They look shaky on Reactor, but you can't deny the success. 6-1 on checkout and 5-3 on the map of Training Grounds for Escalation. Incredible job, really incredible job. And that M-bar, again, I take it back. Look, clearly they knew what they were doing, obviously. They are smart. They really are smarter than me, okay? I'm not smarter than any pro player out there. I'm going to be very straight up. But you know, shout out to their adjustment, because Noble, when the M-bar was placed, hey, they're like hitting a candy store. They're like, yo, this is us. We love this fight, right? And they were winning that fight. That was prime example. That's the first fight that they ended up winning. They ended up winning that round. They looked unstoppable. But shout out to Pioneers for the mid-round adjustment. What does Noble do? They full send 2 players into the M-bar. Okay, you want to do that? Fine. We're going to Lancer you out, and then we're going to send a player in there to clean you up. First time they do that, granted, we do see a team kill, but we take that back. But when Xysho gets his hand on, I mean, come on. Are you looking at what I'm looking at, Colin? Like, when he gets his hand on the M-bar, it's lights out.
Yo, what just happened to Noble in those last 4 rounds is what we just saw from Precision. When Precision hit that up A, you saw he blew the legs out from under Keegan. They just chopped the legs off of Noble for 4 rounds straight. This was their best hope right here. This was their only hope for a comeback. Xploidz went, that was just massive to get both of those headshots. Man went nutty buddy. He said, I'm gonna tap dance on some gravestones here in a moment. Y'all just need to back me up. And
nutty buddy for the L, man.
But there was no backup after the
like you go nutty buddy directly to a domination, you know, like, but you gotta try. And no fault to his, I mean, like, come on, he popped off and went big, but that's what Xploidz does. You know, we've been watching him do that for so long now. It's really no surprise, but we've had a great series. You know, it's been a bit, you know, weird. I'm not gonna lie. Reactor control 300-180. Noble comes out the gate swinging straight into a 6-1 loss on check on an execution. You know, in a pretty competitive training grounds escalation. You know, first half obviously dominated in a way of Noble, but then a big answer is coming out from the way of Pioneers. But now we focus our discussion to another control. We're moving to Regency control. Yep. It plays much differently than Reactor. It's a lot more open. It's more so about your rotations and teamwork. So how do we think Pioneers is going to look? And the reason why I say Pioneers is because they did lose by, 120 points earlier on Reactor. So do you think it's going to be a different story now?
It's not torque. It's M-bar. Big difference. And you know that Xysho and Acells love to favor that M-bar. This also, bear in mind, this is another important thing. I think this favors the Pioneers off rip for one simple reason. Pioneers are going to get to play as the coalition on this one, so they're rolling out a spawn on the right-hand side of the map already. They're going to have right-hand advantage going into the M-bar. They'll have right-hand advantage going into that Rose Garden fight, but most importantly, their first set of deaths, whoever may die off rip, will just respawn right behind them on that right side of the map. So even if that Rose Garden is a wash in the first initial hill, they're respawning toward P2. Yep. All of their favor is in their corner right now. They have to take advantage of this map. This is a map you should not lose if you are the Pioneers. With the way that this can start for you and the dominant performance you just had for 4 rounds in a row, I really look at them to be able to shut this down on this map 4. The big hope for Noble is just how impressive Noble has been in the clutch, how great Noble has done in the CQC fights, the way that they've gotten into those fights, and the way that they've been able to come back against the Pioneers. They cannot let them get on a roll, and they cannot let the Pioneers start to get that momentum, gain that same kind of confidence. They need to do exactly what they did on a Reactor, get some big clutch kills from some guys like Xploidz and Toti, and let the good times roll.
Pioneers are feeling themselves. It was very apparent. I mean, they're emoting mid-round. Okay, they're emoting mid-round. I mean, but you know what? That's what they do. But the thing is, they're scary when they start doing that because they quite literally feel unstoppable. And for the most part, they are unstoppable. Who has really shut them down? So at this point, Noble has to find a way to not necessarily deflate them, but at least stop them and kind of make them think about like, okay, this could be a difficult map to win. One benefit, though, you've lost escalation. If you're Noble, you've lost escalation, you've lost execution, you won control. So now you have another control. You'll worry about the execution later. You lost 6-1 on checkout, whatever. Noble's not a team to necessarily get rattled. We've seen their back against the wall several times for them to turn the series around and win it. Pioneers, I feel like, is in a different echelon, but this is something, I mean, a positive takeaway. They've won in control before, but you brought up a great point. The fact that we are going to see Pioneers on COG and they are going to have the favorable spawn already, Noble's going to have to work extra hard to gain control.
Let's see if they can come away with that control early in this one, because I think that, again, with the way that this spawn is for them, getting to play COG on this map is going to be a big benefactor for them. Off of the initial, it's going to be a 2-1-1 across the map, and a lot of Lancer damage out already. You're going to see them try to angle out that player going to the back of the Rose Garden, but we go live with Acells, who is playing to the backside of the M-bar, trying to find one more big shot here. This is a big fight to win, and he does win it indeed. Acells will get the M-bar, but Noble will win the Rose Garden, and they're going to win the over-rotation. So Noble doesn't just get the early points, they flipped the script. They've gotten onto the right side of the map. They need to get a kill here on Toti and push across the middle onto Xploidz. You can see Precision. He's going to get called out. He's going to get lancered up a little bit. They've got him a little red. They need to just go to the top side of this map and try to continue to push out here. I don't know if pushing into this hill is necessarily the correct call, simply because there's so many angles you can get rotated on from here on out.
At this point, Pioneer's going to have to fight extra hard, not only for the hill, which they do get, but also for spawn control. And speaking of which, player 1 Precision is going to have a lot of weight on his shoulders. He's going to be by himself, and he knows Noble's going to be rotating it. But great job reading where Toti was going to be. Toti wasn't ready at all for him to be there. So now Noble's got to think about this, right? We have players who's going to be pushing up the stairs. We've got Precision who's inside the hill. Do we have a count for all members? If not, where are the others at? So at this point, I think Noble's got a good ground up to where our Pioneers are currently at. Acells needs to connect though with the sim bar, and I think he's about to drop, and he does. So to Noble's credit, even though Toti's taken down, maybe things get a bit discombobulated, it seems as if they stay composed, they retake control, and they get the M bar with 3 shots left. Come on, perfect case situation.
And they've got 3 shots left in that M bar as well. 40 seconds until the next one spawns. Fearzly will have an easy time of picking anybody off that comes through this first hill. First shot misses though, sees the mark out onto Acells. They're pushing up into the hill, going for this break, and Precision will get caught off and get shot on. Acells can't stand up. Xysho will stand next to his teammate and get blown off the map momentarily. An incredible early initial here for the side of Noble.
Yeah, well done indeed.
Let's take a, here we go into the next one.
Okay, into the next one, and another team fight underway. Pioneers going for the break. Fearzly already getting some downs, though. Good spacing from Toti allows him to get the drop onto Xysho and the cleanup from Xploidz. It might be 2 distinct team fights back-to-back. Noble dominates them. And will Xploidz get away with the M-bar? Maybe. Toti's got to be there. He's got to be the hero, but unfortunately, he's going to lose his life, too. The M-bar was backpack, though, so Noble does get it out of the way, but wait, Fearzly's alive? Excuse me. Xysho's got the M-bar. Fearzly's got an M-bar.
Fearzly's got an M-bar, but he only had 3 shots left in it. Xysho's
That's right. Excuse
the new
me.
M-bar, the rotated M-bar.
I thought the original M-bar got backpack. Xysho picked it up. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna lose my mind, but I'm not. Everything's good.
This next hill is going to be interesting because you can see again already Noble's rotating through the top side of the map. They're going to have the extra angle. Somebody from the side of Pioneers has to hit a shot. And you saw Hndles trying to hit one right there. Couldn't do it. And now Xysho's just continuing to rotate down into his teammate, trying to help out. They got to get to the front side of the spawn. They're trying to pull the players of the Noble into the sight lines of the rest of their teammates respawning across the map, but they couldn't do it in time and they go down. So now they have the close spawn, they have the hill, and they have 50 seconds to kind of hang out. They're going to get up to 140 points, give or take a few, if they stay there and bleed this one out.
Here we go, Pioneers on the outskirts. They definitely are going for this break. Question is, where does Acells throw the shock? He throws it to the right-hand side. Hndles now is going to be able... Oh, Toti's not marked, so Hndles is going to miss him, and unfortunately, he's going to get collapsed down on, and so will Precision. At this point, what are we at team fight-wise? It's got to be Noble, what, at like 5 Pioneers at 2? I don't even know, but...
Noble's 6-1.
6-1, jeez, even worse.
The one team fight that Pioneers won was that initial retake at the Rose Garden. Outside of that, they've been getting sat down.
Man, yeah, I mean, it's apparent Noble is just doing an incredible job. And when they get into these team fights, it's not like 2 down, 3, like it's 4 down. It's incredibly jarring and efficient. So we need to see more from Pioneers. It's almost reminiscent of Reactor. It really is. I mean, the same, you know, different map, but same results at this point. So Pioneers got to step it up. Precision is going to help though with the M-bar, and ultimately Pioneers do have control of the next hill. So Noble's going to have to fight hard. You know, this has to be a turning point for them.
Xysho's waiting at this top right side, looking for anybody that respawns here. Toti, he'll see him rotate out. Unsure where he's going to be able to do with this. He's going to have to take this 1v1 unless he rotates back toward his teammates here. It doesn't look like he's doing that just yet. Frag by Acells, will not find anybody, and he's going to rotate back toward the hill now that he sees the neutralization. Big Lancer fire, though, gets him down immediately.
Thanks.
Precision also needs to be the hero here. Xysho's back into the fight, but quick as that, he is going to drop off as Noble rotates in. Hndles, will he fall too? Yes, he will. That's 3 gone, and Noble, another team fight 1 for the hill. Not a lot of points that they're going to be gathered, maybe 30 or so, but I mean, still, 30 or so is going to hurt Pioneers because that puts them at 160, 170 to 58. So at this point, I guess any amount of points Noble gets is going to be pretty brutal. Hndles can't even get out of cover before he's getting peppered with Lancer shots left and right. So Pioneers, man, it's not even really, what was that team kill? Was that to get him back into the fight? But Dyslexic took down his own teammate. Maybe we have a bit of a, I think we're going to have a bit of a stalemate for a little bit.
I don't know if we are. I see all 4 players from Noble still moving. All 4 players from Noble are still moving, and the fact that they went back into the hill and recapped some points tells me that even if they were to have a disconnect, that Pioneers would take this hill to their advantage. I just would have to assume that because Noble just went back into the hill, baited out more points.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he might have been downed, and maybe he wanted to kill him just to, get him. I don't know. But either way, funky plays, but all business as usual, and Pioneers with a good hold defensively on this hill. Currently, Noble, though, they've split up 2-2, so we're going to have 2 distinct team fights. Meanwhile, inside the hill, though, Hndles is going to drop. And like you said, great shots. Noble's hitting their shots. They're looking incredible. They really are, and that's going to force Pioneers out. Acells is not comfortable in this fight. Even though he gets that elimination, I mean, he knows there's another Noble member ready to gun him down.
Without a doubt, Xysho inside of the big door will get that finish onto Acells, trying to get him back off of spawn, quickly and as possible. Rotation by Hndles, trying to get that up A. 3 big shots and we'll get that kill, but Toti right back on the heels of Hndles will get a kill there on a precision, finish him off. 20 more seconds left will get them up over the 200-point marker, and now Pioneers have to be concerned. Do you mount up a defense? Do you over-rotate? And it's exactly what they're doing. They're giving up the last bit of points on that final hill, rotating over to next, and they're going to be in this top right hill. Right now, they're going to have 1 player mounted up there. It's going to be Xysho, everybody else in the middle of the map. But Fearzly has 6 shots with his M-bar. This could get to be bad news bears if they're not careful.
Oh, bad news bears it is. That's 1. Trying to get into the pocket of another one, but either way, Fearzly has command of mid, and he's going to go ahead and rotate. And I mean, Noble instantly retakes the hill. Pioneers will back off. The shock, ineffective, doesn't connect onto anything. Granted, I do like Pioneers' position on this hill, though. They're on the outskirts. Typically, that should give them an advantage, not only for spawns, but also an ability to Lancer in. But, I mean, they're not even trying to push in, and I think that's just because Noble, once again, they have so much presence. How do you even push this? Because at this point, normally a team is pushing out, right, and pushing into Pioneers, trying to retake control of the spawn. Noble doesn't do that. They just kind of stay inside the hill. For better or worse, it doesn't work out, but I mean, still, they got about 30 or so points, 20 points?
Yeah, they're going to get a decent amount of points off of this as long as they can hold Noble off, but Noble, again, has the close respawn. You see Hndles just trying to use that cubby corner to the best of his advantage. Getting tagged up a little bit, has to be concerned to that extra angle from the backside of the spawn. Precision with the first kill here. Might continue to hold on to this because it will give them an advantage in the manpower sector. 15 seconds left, and the next hill will be a reset. We'll be going back to P1 down there at the Rose Garden with 1 second left on the shock. It looks like Hndles might get chased out by Dyslexic.
Enemy contact!
Up top, Xysho, he's going to have a fight over this M-bar, but he's going to get 2v1'd here if he's not careful. He's going to back out, trying to wait for some help from Acells. Acells pulling up into the fight now. Shot over the cover, gets 1 second shot, the down. He's going to go down, but quickly into the fight is Xysho. Fearzly, he's trying to just get this final kill. They do finally get the down there, but Hndles knows they're going to come rolling down the hill very quickly at him. Precision trying to hold his own here on the left side. He's going to get taken out. And this is bad for Hndles. He is about to get 3v1 here momentarily.
Yeah, Hndles in a tough spot. We've seen him, though, weasel his way out before. Not going to be the case here. Noble will start pretty much how they, or excuse me, will essentially finish on this hill like they started with, a dominant lead. They have control. They've got spawn control. It's literally identical to how this map kind of started off. Pioneers getting desperate now to go for the break. That's a good attempt, though. Precision taking down 1, and now you got Toti kind of dead to rights. Maybe he's got the meat shield. Finally, he will drop. Fearzly, is it Fearzly on the outside? Fearzly is going to be on the outside. The challenge out of Hndles. Hndles will take him out. Actually, no, he won't, because he's back in. Noble's doing such a good job fighting as a team and fighting for each other. And that is reminiscent of why they have more team fights won than that of Pioneers. But it's never too late to get the party started. And Pioneers, to their credit, are definitely stepping it up. Are they dominating? No. But they are slowly clawing their way back. So if they can get to the 200-point mark off this next hill, Colin, I think they could be in good company to maybe overtake the lead and keep this competitive.
I mean, this is going to be difficult sled, though, because of the fact that look at how Noble's already set up. 2 players looking to the front side, 2 players looking toward the bottom. 20 seconds left until the new M-bar. Acells mounted up here. He's going to rotate out. Noble is going to have 1 player that can easily have a little angle on him and Toti. Throwing, I think, a shock to that front right corner to stop somebody from taking that angle. Flash out onto Hndles. Hndles is trying to stand up here and get shots on Dyslexic. It actually hits, I think it had to be almost every single god-dang bullet in the Lancer to get that down. But they answer right back with one of their own. Toti tries to fly and die. He does just that, and here comes the last 2 players from Noble, trying to fight against the wave of Pioneers players, fighting toward the spawn area. Xploidz goes to the up A, won't be able to get it, and now Xysho has to worry about the flank and the rotation, but he gets 1. Now it's up to Fearzly to hold the close spawn for his teammates. They've sent Precision over for the new M-bar. He will get it, and he's going to start rotating that into the next fight.
It's exactly what they needed. Pioneers are clawing their way back. Colin Precision needs to connect. There it is, onto Xploidz. Dyslexic is also down. Like I said, they needed a strong hold on that last hill, and they got it. They passed 200. They've still got a long way to go, but maybe they have finally woken up. Xysho, kill onto Xploidz. That's going to better his chances to get all the way around. You can tell Xploidz was trying to get the sneak attack onto players 3 and 4 of Xysho and Hndles as they were rotating out. Precision, big win here if he gets to 2-piece. He does manage to get the knock on to 1, but unfortunately gets Lancered in the back. But the pressure's still there from Pioneers. To their credit, they understand the importance of taking this hill immediately, as well as the spawns. Toti dying off is going to be big. Dyslexic now, he's going to be pincered in. Hndles takes him down. Pioneers has 1 more member to get through, and it's going to be Xploidz.
Xploidz backside of the hill. He's going to try to fight against 2, maybe 3 players. He's going to try to make it back toward the middle of the map. He's not going to be able to do it. Here comes the shock, though. Shock will be respawned. I believe the nades are very close to being respawned as well. 65 seconds, so no, not in time. They must have already either been used or picked. They're about halfway done with their respawn. Acells sees an advantage, though, a little of tipping point to push up there and get that down, and this is going to be a tough answer for anybody trying to get that finish on Fearzly, and he does get the finish, so I believe the shock has been wiped away unless Fearzly had it in his hand. The utility shock will not be of any use, and Dyslexic has gone down at the top side of the map. And with 40 seconds left on this gets him up to 270, 280 before they go to P3.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is starting to get scary. And Noble, you know, they got to be sweating at this point, Colin, because they had the lead. They were controlling the team fights, controlling the map, and now Pioneers within striking distance of overtaking a lead. Noble finally going on the attack, but just as soon as they do, Xploidz drops off. Toti has been also dropped down to his knees. Dyslexic gone, and there it is. A definitive win for Pioneers, and they will take the point lead once again. Actually, one of the first times they've done so in one of the most critical points of the map. Plus, you're giving Xysho an M-bar coming up to one of the final hills that's going to be in play. This could be a disastrous ending for Noble.
I like this from the side of the Pioneers. So when you're in the hill, it'll just count down regularly. When you're out, nobody's inside of the hill. It's almost like there's a delay because it's waiting for somebody to try to claim those points. And now what they did was they left Hndles there, hoping that they could get that hill to kind of move over, rotate on into P4 so that they could use their advantage while they were already set up over there. The only problem with that plan is that Noble called it out, and Noble had a picture-perfect retake in mind. They get it to go, and if Toti doesn't drop here, this is easily a win for Noble. There's not going to be anybody in the sector to take over that neutralization of the hill. Nobody's going to be able to get a touch at all because Noble has got Toti on the backside, and Toti is being a thorn in the side of everybody from the Pioneers.
Oh, that cross from Dyslexic, though. He might be the hero. 296, 297 precisions in. It's over. There it is. Noble will take it 300 to 268. And ladies and gentlemen, we will in fact be going to a map number 5, our third map 5 of the night. Are you kidding me? Absolutely insane. Well done to Noble. It got a bit shaky. It really did. I thought Pioneers, they were going to be in the pocket. Once they got that M-bar and the last hill, I'm thinking to myself, ooh, Noble, you done messed up. but I guess they didn't. So now it comes down to map number 5. It's Tomb Execution. And like I said, Pioneers, this is a map they don't historically like, but they picked it for a reason. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, final map coming your way. And welcome back, everybody, to the Gears Pro League Split 1 Day 1, and we have finally reached our final map of the night. It's going to be map number 5, Tomb Execution, but let's talk about how we got here between Pioneers and Noble. We started off on Reactor that ended 300-180 for Noble, an explosive start, followed by a checkout dominating victory 6-1, won by the Pioneers. Training Grounds 5-3, won by the Pioneers, and then answered back by Noble in a very close fashion, mind you. Pioneers definitely looking like they wanted that win, 300-268. So Colin, walk me through it. When it comes down to this Regency control, Noble dominated the early portions. Pioneers fought back though, and it looked like everything was great for them, but that final hill is where it fell apart when they needed it most.
Well, the Pioneers started winning a lot of team fights, and they were actually staggering out the lives of Noble very well toward the middle and late portions of that game. As we get closer to the final few moments here, like, they started taking chances of getting those kills, like right there where they lanced out that player on the bottom side of those stairs. Right here toward the end, you don't get to see it in the highlight package, but I thankfully was able to watch it back. And if you want to watch it back, you're more than welcome to. They played through the middle of the map. They sent Hndles through the middle of the map to take basically what is a 1v1. Hndles has been downed twice, and his third down and out would end up being a death. So they send Hndles mid-map. They trust Xysho and Precision to get a kill, maybe two. Xysho misses an M-bar, which is uncharacteristic, which isn't necessarily a choke. It just happens sometimes. You miss a shot. People do it all the time. Xysho misses the shot, which causes Precision to get up-aid. As soon as Precision dies without having any damage really done back against Noble, they send one player to mid-stairs to lancer out Hndles with Toti. Toti and this other player, I believe it wasn't Xploidz. It had to be Fearzly at that point. They lancer out to Hndles. Acells dies, gets downed. And then Hndles gets sent to try to help Acells, gets down for his third time and dies. So all four players from Pioneers basically get wiped away within the first few seconds of that final hill. And when they respawn, they spread to both sides. They can't get any consecutive kills or successful kills quickly because of, like I said, Toti just staying alive at that staircase, staying as the thorn in the side, because you know if you just turn tail and run toward the hill, he's gonna lancer you from the back. That was just a cavalcade of events that lead to Noble's victory in those final few moments. You trust that Xysho is going to hit the M-bar. You trust that Acells might win a 1v1 against Toti. You trust that Hndles isn't going to get down for a third time. All those things going wrong equaled a Precision or Pioneers lost right there, and was precisely the thing that Noble had to have to win that map.
And they made it happen. I'm telling you, Noble is a team. Back against the wall, doesn't matter. They remain calm and composed. Mind you, this roster's been together for quite some time now, Colin. You know, these guys, they know each other very well. They're comfortable with each other in terms of the roster. And, you know, granted, maybe they didn't practice in offseason, or maybe they did. I don't know. It's looking like they definitely did if they're putting up this great of a fight against Pioneers. But even if they didn't, it just comes to show you how quickly they can just fall back in line and compete at the highest level, you know, and respectfully so. These guys, first and second respectively, when it comes to the summer major. And like I told you, when I talked with Toti after the major, he said, look, I am going to win the first major for Latin America. I will get that chip. And you know what? With this conviction and history, they only get better. This roster has only gotten better. Since they lost to E United, that was a major beatdown in grand finals. You look at their next grand finals, they take it to a map 8, nearly a map 9 to decide it all, Colin. So I think this Noble roster still has a lot more gas left in the tank. And what a start it would be if they beat Pioneers tonight, a team that I thought straight up was going to be untouchable. I expected this series to be a 3-0-3-1, not because I don't believe in Noble, but because I thought they were going to be rusty coming into tonight, but clearly they're not. So like I said, and I've been saying it all night, and maybe you have a different opinion, but we're heading into Tomb. This is a map that historically Pioneers have struggled on, but they picked it this time around. So clearly they've gotten better and they feel more comfortable than ever on this map to pick this against the team of Noble, who isn't too bad here.
Not at all. And then now with the long shot torque bow play, you have to try to figure out what you're going to play for. How are you going to play this map? If you are Pioneers, do you favor one power weapon over the other? Because you know right now, Fearzly on map 1 with a torque bow was a force to be reckoned with. And there's not a map on God's green earth that you want Xploidz to have a chance to pick up the long shot on.
That's true.
So now you are in kind of a no-win situation for the side of the Pioneers. They have to pick a fight. They have to pick their poison and hope they can come out with a victory, because you know right now Noble loves the weapon placements on this map. They love the way that this map plays out. You just have to have a way of overtaking.
Your midline players are going to be absolutely critical on a map like this. And another player that's going to be critical is going to be the torque bow fight. And, you know, I haven't put much emphasis on that engagement before. And the reason why is because it's again, that midline fight is the most impactful fight, in my opinion. It really dictates how the rest of the map is going to play out. But Dyslexic is a force to be reckoned with. I think they got the wrong weapon swap, so we're going to be so we might have to pull the lobby back because there's no torque bow. That's where the M-bar is at. But hey, fair enough. We'll see. Yeah. So yeah, they're going to come back. That's okay. They had the M-bar where torque bow is going to be. We'll get back into it. It's going to happen. Like I said, we've had very few hiccups tonight. Okay. Tonight has run very smoothly. So I tip my hat to all the pros out there. But Dyslexic, who does he play against? Who is it? Is it Precision? It is Precision. Precision is going to be opposite of Dyslexic for torque bow, correct?
I would assume.
I think
based on their normal rotations, you'll probably have Hndles and Acells playing the mid-map toward that long shot, and then Xysho also probably playing the very top position at the long shot. So you'll kind of see Acells play around the Rose Guard, and Hndles will take that midpoint where that box, that hop and drop box is, and then you'll see Xysho at the top. That's normally what I saw last time them do. I'm not sure if we're going to have any differentiating patterns or new strats out of either of these teams. We'll know definitively based on where their spawn points were. I wish I could have made a mental note very quickly of who was in what spawn, but you know, I was doing the same thing you did, where I was like, wait, what do you mean the wrong weapons? And then I saw the overhead map get pulled up and I was like, it is the wrong weapon. It is in fact the wrong weapons. It's tough. PR even saying tough. Hey, good to see you out there, PR. And chat, we love to see you. Seen a lot of familiar faces out there. We're very happy that you followed us from UMG Gaming over towards Xbox, and I hope you are enjoying your time and earning your delicious skin set. To watch your wins, I love saying that. Delicious. And yeah, Hndles is already down, but is it going to get picked back up? He will be. So all is right with the world. Wasted down already. Hndles getting tagged up by the snub in the middle of the map, but look at that, the over rotation from Acells because the down on Xploidz. Now Fearzly down. Big up A out of Dyslexic will get that kill. One player left alive for the side of Noble, and that's going to be Dyslexic. Toti has been left to kind of tap himself up, I think.
Yeah. Oh, not in time, though. Hndles will finish him off just in time. That would have been crazy.
He got up.
Oh, he did?
Hndles shot him as he stood up because he was right against the box. We couldn't see it unless we were seeing his perspective, but as he tapped up, as soon as he came to a complete stand-up, he took one big shot into his face.
Reason why I put a lot of emphasis on Dyslexic for the torque bows, we have seen him pull off miraculous clutches and plays. And the fact that he is last alive with the torque bow in hand 1v2, you still got to give him some credit. But I like that Pioneers have split themselves. Hndles on one end, Acells on the other. You got to think Dyslexic doesn't feel comfortable, especially because he is where he's currently at. But he dodges a call. Whoa, he's getting a little bit wild. That could have been an opportunity to capitalize, but another sniper shot missed. He's hungry, and he continues to push up, and I gotta say, Acells wants no smoke at the moment.
25 seconds to go. Hndles is on that cover. Hits him with a lot of little snub shots right there. Has him decently read. Dyslexic goes for a little fakey bounce, and Hndles will get that down, and they're going to go with the beatdown yet again, like we saw there on checkout. This is a good first round win for them after the initial down on Hndles. I really thought there might be a chance for Noble to just run away with that round one, but the quick revive and the retake by Acells, just picture perfect.
Picture perfect indeed. Great job in Hndles. Really the shining star from round one. 3 kills to his name. Wonderful job. And now we get to see another round unfold. That midline battle was just fantastic. I was looking at it and literally just player after player after player from Noble ended up falling because Pioneers did such an excellent job shooting for each other and focus firing player after player. And we've kind of complimented them in the past for that. I like this move from Hndles, but he's going to get sniffed out. Fearzly sees it come and takes him out. First blood is huge.
Sneaky, but not sneaky enough for Hndles. Precision trying to run back and forth, trying to just stay alive here. Not going to be able to get anything to go. Acells will drop as well. Xysho last alive for a squad. He will get cleaned up here in round 2, and that'll be a clean sweep here for Noble. And ooh, I like that. Sacrificing him to the blood god there with a little knife to the old abdomen.
Hey, it happens sometimes. Happens to the best of us anyways. Hasn't happened to me. I'm not the best of us.
You get sacrificed off to the blood gods?
No, as I'm saying, it happens to the best of us. It hasn't happened to me, so I'm not the best of us. But I'm just saying, it does happen to the best of us.
Who am I commentating with? Is this Beelzebub?
Well, hey,
what is
look,
going on?
It would fit in line with what you were saying. You're getting biblical earlier, talking about ascending and just this. And I was like, yo, we're really getting crazy here. But you hyped them up, and I'm talking about my boys Pioneers, but here we are back at it once again. Haven't been sacrificed. I'm still here. 1-1. What a smoke out. Toti on the other side. Pioneers loves to make that first move, but Xploidz will get the drop on Hndles and Acells. This could be a huge opening for the boys of Precision, but they're all back into the fight, but that doesn't mean the pressure has been released. Xploidz also gets some great shots, and Xploidz getting a better shot. Can he get another one? You got 2 more members from Pioneers. There's the third. Can I get a fourth? Well, he'll get it with the Nasher, but that works too.
You want. I mean, that was nasty. That was blood nasty right there. They're going to go up 2-1 here, and that was just a fantastic showcase. Pioneers trying to make that first kind of sneaky move, trying to run down the side of the cover to get in position to go for a back A, but not able to do. Oh, that's the wrong blood spray, brother. You got to work on that. You got to work on it.
Which one was that one?
It was a fire and ice blood spray. I know there's not a noble blood spray, but you know. Oh my god! Oh
that shot was just cinematic too. Come on, Ribs doing it right. Oh my lord, give me another one. If he would have hit that third shot with the sniper, like the Nasher's cool, but it would have been stylish. But already stylish as it was. Let's not kid ourselves. 2-1 lead for Noble. Can they keep the momentum up? Pioneers been making that first move. They're not shy about pushing up. Hndles has been one. We've seen Xysho do it a little bit earlier. Hndles is one. He's chomping at the bit to go forward. But I love the fact that he hit the brakes. Like, Pioneers needed to do this. Fill it out. See what Noble's up to.
Yeah, and look at the way that this is set up. I mean, everybody's literally in the same position. This is like almost classic War Machine from way back in the day on UE. You kind of had the 1v1 at the snipe sandbags. You had that mid-window fight where one player was stacked up right there, and then, of course, at the frags in the middle of the map at the torque, and then probably your 1v1 player up top. This is almost what this looks like. The way that these players are stacked up right here, without somebody being on the top ledge, this is basically almost a mirror of how War Machine used to play. That's a throwback, Taylor. I'm sorry.
I know it is. I'm just thinking, does anybody here?
Ryan will know what I mean. Ryan, you know what I mean, right, baby? You know what I mean.
Hey, I'm tracking Ribs. Ribs got you too. All right.
I doubt Ribs is going to give me credit for knowing anything. That's fine.
Well, fair enough on that one. Why does everybody got to give Ribs a hard time, man?
Because he's like one of the greatest of all. Have you ever won your first and last tournament in a career? Like, that's just next level. Also, I love how Hndles finally baited Fearzly into that. Like,
it took a while, but you know, sometimes you got to wait for things that are good in life, you know. Speaking of which, talk about changing the pace.
my man's Acells over here, up in this cubby. He's like, hey guys, I've got something going on over here. If you want to come join.
All right, 2-2, all tied up. And no, to answer your question, I did not win my first tournament, last tournament of anything.
I mean, just think about that. That's why Ribs is a GOAT. Like, everybody sleeps on the fact that Ribs might be a Mount Rushmore player from the fact that that man won his first and his last competitive tournament, not counting all the other wins he's got. I mean, heck, he was one of the only 2 teams to dethrone Optic in Gears 4. Actually, he was on both of them. He was on Envy and Ghost. My man Ribs was out here. He was the Optic killer.
So I'm saying, man, that's why, you know what? When I was on the desk with him, I tried to help him out. I really did. It was fun. I love being, because he's so freaking smart. Either way, enough about that. I know Ribs appreciate the gas. Dyslexic takes down Precision 4-3 now. Xploidz is down, but he should be back up relatively soon. You have to assume, though, and the Pioneer's in trouble here, and that's going to be it. 3-1. Yeah, give it back.
3-2, man. 3-2.
Give it back. Rip off his arm. Beat him down. Let him know. See? And Pioneers has to appreciate this, okay?
I mean, you got to expect it, right? I was trying to explain to somebody, not even earlier in the chat when it was asked about, over the offseason, somebody asked me why X-Vanquish, now Pioneers, always went with the long spawn, like always went with the long executions, always kind of like gave love at the end of rounds. And I was like, do you watch basketball? And they were like, yeah. I was like, how long you been a basketball fan? They were like, since the 90s. I'm like, they're almost my age. You know how it is. And I said, well, they're like the bad boys. I was like, they're like the bad boy Pistons, though. Like, they've accepted the fact that they're kind of villainized. Like, people just assume,
and the Pistons own that.
They're rough and tough, and that's what they did. The bad boy Pistons owned it. And I think that's one of my favorite things about the Pioneers is they don't shy away from the fact that people think they're the villain.
Oh, Dyslexic, good shot of Precision. Yeah, jeez. You knew Dyslexic was going to finish that. There's no way Precision was getting away from that engagement.
It's 4-2.
Yeah, that's wild. Again, you know, it's just this isn't a map that has been historically good for Pioneers. It really hasn't been. So to watch it again, it's kind of interesting to see them pick it in map number 5. You know, it really is. But here we are. And I thought we were going to see something crazy, but, you know, Noble's taking the lead. You know, Elevate beat Pittsburgh Knights. Big upset. I mean, without question, Noble beating Pioneers, even despite their history, number 1 and number 2, respectively, like, this would be an upset. So we're looking at something special here. But shout out to Dyslexic for hitting that first shot and then capitalizing off of that. Like, see, some players hit a shot like that, go for the reset, back up and get the torque bow. Dyslexic knows I'm getting more value by getting that kill, and that's exactly what he did. Well done. 4-2. Noble tearing it up.
Toti is going to throw a smoke out. I like that. Cloud up the vision, not allow them to kind of lancer back. A lot of big damage there. They get the down on Dyslexic and Xploidz. But I believe one of those players is at least backed away. Yeah, Xploidz is going to possibly get up if nobody can get over to him in time. But no, there they go. They made it over there. They're going to get that kill. They're going to make it 4-3. Trying to get back into this, trying to tie it back up. This is going to go down to the wire. This has been incredible. We've had all map 5s in night number 1. And all 3 executions haven't necessarily come easy to any of the teams.
Nah, not at all. The easiest one would have been Rise versus Oxygen with the 6-3 victory on Tomb. But aside from that, Pittsburgh Knights and Elevate went 6-4. This one's going the distance, folks. I don't see this ending anywhere close or anywhere shy of around 11. I mean, just plain and simple. With the way these guys are going at it and the intensity. Loving the rivalry, really am. Without question, Noble and Pioneers have a rivalry, you know, hands down. One Latin America, one NA. I mean, it's just, it is perfect for developing a storyline. Dyslexic's been a shining star for this torque bow play. Precision, it's kind of got the best, you know, out of him, but no one's taking the bait yet. Actually, Fearzly wants to make the move. Fearzly's tired of Hndles dominating that mid-fight, but trades galore. Dyslexic's down and Pioneers tied up 4-4.
Hey, what do you know? We're already going to go around 9 out of 11. You know how it is.
Yep. I mean, come on. Send it to round 11 as it is. Let's just end it.
Look, let's let y'all each one around. Just give each other a round real quick. Make it 5-5, and then just go to a round 11. We'll settle this bad boy, all right?
Mm-hmm. It's simple. It's economics.
I don't know anything about economics, so I can't even say it is
I read,
or it isn't.
I think 10 pages of an economics book, so I'm pretty well versed, to be honest with you. I know about the broken window theory. The broken window theory, I learned about it in the first 10 pages, and I take that to the bank all day. Acells is really trying to make a move here, and Xploidz might be in trouble, but he's going to live up. Hndles is down. Does Noble have the edge here? Maybe so.
They do. They have a great edge. The fact that they overtook that middle cubby, that back tomb, has given him a decided edge here, and Acells doesn't go in for the straight kill. He's going to get downed in that moment. Precision now has to win a 4v1, which I don't think is a very easy thing to do.
I love how you could tell them scanning the map, where is the final player? Where is he at? Don't finish him. Wait till we all get there. Now, can we get a simultaneous kick? Oh, no. Dyslexic, put that torque bow down. Dyslexic, put the torque bow down. None of that was necessary. No,
I really want to quote Dodgeball whenever somebody asks if something was necessary.
It's been a while since I've seen that. What do you want to say?
Don't worry about it. I ain't going to do it, baby.
Okay. Well, when you say you don't want to do it, I believe you, because who knows what you're going to say. Here we are. Round 11, maybe? Hey, I think we're getting to that point. Pioneers, they've got to answer back. They really do. Noble on map point, series point. This would be a major upset, folks, given the fact that Pioneers have went 3.5 months without losing a tournament. Granted, they've lost series, but they haven't lost many of them, so this would be huge. Toti an opportunity. Xysho's not marked, though.
It doesn't matter. That's a big shot. Xysho has to rotate out of the fight now. But Xysho can't stand there and take the next shot because of the fact that that was a big brick. Now let's see what they're able to do here. They push in forward. Big down onto Acells. They 2v1 him. Big kill in the middle by Xysho. They got to find another one here onto Dyslexic. Dyslexic with the torque bow out is going to get tagged up a little bit here, but he gets head blown clean off. And Precision in a 3v1 for the game. Doesn't look good. He goes down, and Noble will win their showcase matchup. First match out of the gate. They're going to win it 3-2 over the Pioneers. Both organizations looking to start hot in Pro League, but it will be Noble that get the deciding round, the deciding map. And Xploidz, he went fishing and he reeled himself in for Pioneers.
True, well done for the Noble boys. Fearzly with 14 assists, by the way. I get excited when I see that because I'm like, man, you are fighting for your team, and I can't believe it. Noble gets the victory, guys. I thought they took the offseason completely off. They were, just chilling out. I really expected these guys to come in, not be lackluster per se, but not be that second place summer major team. But Lord have mercy, was I wrong. These guys just beat the #1 team of Pioneers. And, well, hey, Noble is the #1 team for all intents and, well, at least one of them. I know it's going to be tied up after the, tonight. But, man, Colin, 3 map 5s today, 2 big upsets. What a heck of a way to open up Pro League.
Without a doubt, this is one of those things where I think that Noble now, you're going to look at the idea of power rankings, really. You're going to say, look, Noble has to kind of be #1 in your power rankings after tonight. They beat a team that hasn't really lost in 3 months, so they take over the top spot. They got to win again. They play another matchup. They got to keep winning in Pro League. They got to keep pushing forward in every situation here because this is an impressive victory, and now they don't have to worry about losing to the Pioneers again. Worst case scenario, the only way they could really lose the #1 seed is if they somehow lose a bunch, but Pioneers doesn't.
That is, Colin, like, seriously well said. That is the biggest point because you're right. It's a round robin. Everybody plays each other once. You've already beat the Pioneers. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, it's not, things don't get easier, right? Easier is not the right word. But if you get to the point in the final weeks of Pro League and you have a chance for first place, you already beat Pioneers, so at this point, you can beat everybody else. I guess that's the best way to put it, right? At this point anyway. So, job well done. I mean, this is literally like the picture-perfect start of the season for Noble.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed to start with, and this is going to give them a massive boost to confidence and a great deal of momentum going forward. This is going to be a well-rounded squad that people are going to have to take note of. The way that Noble's able to play, and especially with their power weapon play, they are scary. They are one of the hardest teams to beat with the way they handled business here tonight on the backs of some picture-perfect performances in map 1 with the torque bow in Fearzly's hand. Map 2 they falter. Map 3 they falter, but they fight back every single time. And they never give up, and that's the thing that is going to be all you can worry about.
I'm pumped up. I really am. Not because Pioneers lost, but just, again, tonight, we're seeing rivalries, right, already develop. We've seen great series already as it is. And it's proving everything we said preseason, right, Colin, that with 10 teams, we are going to see a highly competitive pro league. And we are seeing the effects of that in literally just day one. We've already seen 3 map 5s, not round 11s per se in a map 5, but I mean, very good map 5s. We've seen back and forths. We've seen the top level team already lose. We've seen, one of the hyped up teams, Pittsburgh Knights, lose to Elevate a team that, just entered through the LCQ, had many questions about them. Like, tonight was a good night to open up Pro League. And I think not necessarily humble teams, but show that nothing is guaranteed. You're going to have to work extra hard. The competition continues to get better and better and better. We say that every Pro League, but this is probably one of the biggest, craziest starts, in my opinion, for a day one.
I think with 3 map 5s, with the way that we saw all of those map 5s be really highly contested, yes, we saw some pretty big beatdowns in the mids of some of these maps and series, a la the Rise map 2, the Pioneers map 2 here in this series. But the fact that we got to see 3 map 5s, where we got to see 2 teams that we definitively thought were going to be able to take care of business, spells good news for everybody in the league. I think the big stories to us are how we see teams like Rebel and E United continue to move forward in these situations, in these matchups, because both of those teams had impressive showings. Can they do it against some of these other squads? Are they going to be able to do it against the likes of, at this point, Elevate, Rise, Noble, or the Pioneers?
Ink brings up a great point, actually. Pittsburgh Knights did beat Vanquish last phase, right? Literally day one. But that's, but you see how they finished. They finished in first place. So very weird. Vanquish now, obviously Pioneers, like they got this weird thing where they used to lose map 1. Regardless, it's just, hey, great night. I'm excited. By the way, E United, why you got to beat up on my boys F&I like that? Like 3-0? Come on. I expected Fire and Ice to do much better than they did. And I looked at the series score on by the way, smash.gg, love it. I love it because I'm able to click on the actual series and see the series scores. The only thing that would make it better is if I can see the math, but series score makes things a lot better because then I'm like, okay, they lost 300 of this and this and that. So it's great. Have you checked it out? It's great.
Don't give Ink more ideas in chat. He already wants a ticker at the bottom. Don't give him more ideas. It was already hard enough to say that, Colin.
But I had to give credit where credit was due.
I'm ratting you out to the voice of God right now. He's taking goalie's side.
I had to give credit where credit. He's right. Pittsburgh Knights did beat Vanquish in phase 1, phase 2 at the start, but then they ended up winning. Let's take a look at our standings. I'm sorry that I had to do that, but I credit where credit's due. E United in first place. You love that's actually, hey, that's cool. 100% map win rate. Of course, they ended up getting that 3-0 victory. Rebel, Elevate, Noble, all there with a win-loss ratio of 1-0. Obviously, map percentage will separate them, aside from Elevate, Noble, all tied in 3-3. And then you go down the list, Oxygen, Pioneers, PK, Hive, and F&I, all with a loss to start off. And for Fire and Ice, 0% map win rate. Hey, guys got to step that up. You are a team that I hyped up. I expect a lot from you. Hate to single you out, but I really do. And obviously Hive too. You were talking about Hive, right? Cells, Lava Thing 2, Yachty. Another team that needs to do well.